What's up, guys? Don't you just love me? It's snowing. I didn't want to go out. It's my day off, you guys. Like, come on. So it's snowing outside. It's not snowing much. I'm just being a baby. I'm just exhausted. Let's be real. I was really curious because I've heard about how they celebrate Christmas in Japan. And I was looking around and I wanted to react to a video about Christmas in Japan. So I found this one from TK, this lovely lady. The video is called Christmas in Japan, How Japanese People Celebrate Christmas. Japanese Christmas tradition. My understanding is a lot of Japanese people are Buddhist. And not Christian of any kind, so they don't believe in Jesus. So they celebrate, I guess, the winter? I mean, there's no other way of describing it. And I had done a video on Christmas in London, so I said, why not Japan too? So without any further ado, let's see what this lovely young lady has to say.
So recently I was talking to some friends and they asked me if people celebrate Christmas in Japan. And the short answer is yes, but I thought I'll make a video on some of the big differences between celebrating Christmas in Japan and in the US.
Cool.
So first off, Christmas is not a national holiday in Japan. So the religious connotations associated with the holiday were not brought over. But it's still called Christmas or Kurisumasu. So you just say it with a Japanese accent.
Christmas. Everybody, let's do it together. Christmas. How cute.
And some of the fun festivities traditionally associated with Christmas, like Christmas trees, decorations, and gift exchanges, are still celebrated and seen in Japan.
Oh, cool.
And one of the major differences of celebrating Christmas in Japan is that it's more like a couples event rather than getting together with your family. So you go on a date with your partner, with your crush, or if you don't have a significant other, you get together with your friends. And what's really interesting is that people tend to celebrate Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day. So on the 24th, people would go out on dates and go all these like Christmas shows.
Okay, so two things right there. So Christmas for them is more like a Valentine's Day. I mean, I guess a Valentine's Day or a Friendsgiving. And the other thing is they celebrate the 24th, Christmas Eve. A lot of people celebrate Christmas Eve. A lot of Latinos do. They celebrate Noche Buena, which is Christmas Eve and not Christmas Day. Like, people go out, they'll go to church, and then after church they'll go home and they'll celebrate and open presents and stuff like that. It could get a little wild. It could get a little crazy. So, yeah.
And do gift exchanges. I don't know why people do that, but yeah, so the city is typically crowded on the 24th, not the 25th. And it's really, really pretty. If you're in the Tokyo area, especially the Roppongi and the Midtown area, they have all these like illuminations and decorations, and sometimes they have these like Christmas markets where you can get food and drinks as well. So similar to the US, the city and all the shopping malls tend to get crowded and busy with people getting gifts and also seeing like the decoration and ornaments in the city. Also, if you go there during the holiday seasons, a lot of the nicer, higher end restaurants tend to be booked way in advance, so just be careful with that. But most of the time,
I would think if it's like a big time date night thing, that a lot of the fancy restaurants would be booked. People, you know, if it's a date night kind of thing, people would be out, like, not just going shopping for gifts like we do here, but you know how people go and get pajamas for Christmas. Maybe for that tradition, it's more about, oh, what am I going to wear for Christmas Eve on my date? You know, like, that's a big thing.
people tend to make reservations at more of a Western cuisine restaurant, so French restaurant, Italian restaurant. So it could be a good time to make a reservation or like go out to eat at an authentic Japanese restaurant or an Asian restaurant. But
Got
aside
it.
from the really fancy meals, another tradition in Japan for Christmas is getting KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken. So it's been like a
Christmas
tradition since
fried
like
chicken?
1970s, I heard. But getting KFC on Christmas and celebrating with like fried chicken is just a big thing in Japan. And some people pre-order meals in advance for the week of Christmas. Also, just
See, I heard about the chicken. I heard about KFC. Like people get big there's like you go to KFC and you get a bucket of chicken. Sometimes you pre-order it. You so silly. You know, like in the States, a lot of people usually have not like a dinner like Thanksgiving, but like you have like a Christmas ham. If you're Italian, you probably do the seven fishes. If I'm correct. Seven fishes. Is it seven? You guys correct me. You know, like meals are usually homemade, or it's something more. Not to look down on fried chicken. Fried chicken's delicious, but I think of it as fast food. You know, Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's like a homemade meal, with chickens and all the, you know, like a big meal. So for me, thinking about Kentucky Fried Chicken on Christmas, I'm just like, what? You know what I mean?
as a note, KFC in the States is a little different than KFC in Japan. I got really excited when I first tried KFC in the US because the portions were a lot bigger than the ones in Japan. But I did get disappointed because the biscuits were like really, really salty compared to the one in Japan. So I don't know, you might want to give it a try if you're ever in Japan and you're craving.
Okay. So, like with anything in the world, you know, if you go to, like, for example, I usually don't go to fast food restaurants in other countries. Like, I've only been to 2 other countries. Well, I mean, I don't know if Puerto Rico counts, but I've only been to London. I mean, the UK and Germany. And I personally don't go to fast food places, but other people like to go to kind of compare and contrast fast food, American fast food, to, you know, back home. But I'm just kind of like, nah, I kind of want to eat more like authentic local cuisine. But that's just me. But I will say, when I like, let's say I go get a soda. Like I remember getting a Sprite in Berlin, and first of all, it was super tiny. It came in a glass bottle, and like, it didn't taste like Sprite, American Sprite, which tends to be kind of sugary and heavy. It tasted like seltzer water with lemon and lime. And you know, in the in Europe, they have a lot of laws about what people put in the food. So we have a lot in America. Anything goes, right? There's all sorts of preservatives. But in Europe, there's a lot of laws for what you put in the food. So something like a soda won't have all the chemicals. So it's not the same.
Non-Japanese food. Also, as a side note, you typically will not see roast beef, ham, turkey in Japan on the holidays. Another staple in Japan is getting a Christmas cake. It's usually like strawberry shortcake.
Okay, first of all, what was that response? I love strawberry shortcake. She is an icon. She is a legend. Yes, I'm talking with a cartoon character. Jeez, get over yourselves. It's my favorite kind of cake. And, yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's a Christmas cake. Yum.
But there's so many options in Japan. There's like all the bakeries, grocery stores, even like convenience stores will sell some sort of like Christmas cake. And it's so cute and so good. I like how it's not as sweet compared to the cakes and desserts in the States. So before I wrap up the video, personally, what shocked me the most, or not the most, but what really surprised me was when I moved to the States when I was like 6, we didn't have to go to school on Christmas in the US. In Japan, because Christmas is not a national holiday, winter break starts like the day of or the day after Christmas. So I remember when I was still going to elementary school in Japan until like 2nd grade, I still had school on like the 24th. I think it was like a half day though, but we still had school. So when I came here, I was like, wow, winter break starts before Christmas. In Japan, New Year's is a bigger event, bigger holiday compared to Christmas. So you get more days off around New Year's time compared to Christmas. But yeah, that was one of the biggest differences, or one of the things that really surprised me when I moved to the States. So that's it for today.
That was a great video. Thank you so much for that video. I've been curious about, I love Japan. If you know me, you know I love Japan. I'm trying to save up enough money to go visit it. So I appreciate this video. I will put her information in the description of this video. Go check her out, give her a review, give her a thumbs up. Yeah, this was awesome. I appreciate anything that has to do with learning a new culture. Hopefully you enjoyed this video as well. Let me know if there's any other countries you want to hear of, their Christmassy stuff. Not that I have too many more videos for Vlogmas, but you know, I can maybe sneak something in there before the end of the year. All right, guys. Thank you so much and have a great one.